see the light inside you, brighter than the skies. Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight. We have the world in our sight, and I know together we'll be alright. Can you see forever we will go?
Alright, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We are now live in Bloxburg. Neighborhood code is Birdman underscore RBLX. No, Birdman plays underscore RBLX. Hello to Iosif, Happy New Year, thank you. Not New Year's yet though. Oh, it's New Year's Eve. Alright. So, we're live in Bloxburg one last time before we head on into New Year's. So today what we're going to be doing is, so Bloxburg posted a video about the update. It's a 10-minute video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each update one at a time. And then we're gonna, after that, I'm gonna review it and give my opinion on it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I already have the video out. So what we're gonna do, I was gonna just make a video about it, but I was like, you know what? Why not make it a live reaction instead? Make it feel more natural. Watch, you will do the last year. Hello to Elias20s. Hi, I'm going to SeaWorld. Nice. So, my birthday is January 7th. Oh, well, happy early birthday. Alright, so before we continue on, let's look at the poll. Halloween and New Year's. Wow, I was going to expect it's going to be Christmas in the lead. Alright, so this is a 10-minute, 14-second video. So this one here talks about each and every update one by one. So let's have a look and listen in. I'm not going to have the volume up too high. I'm going to put on the desktop audio so you guys can hear, and then I'm going to play it one by one, and I'll give in my opinion afterwards. So let's listen in.
Hey Bloxburgers, grab a coffee because this was Bloxburg's 2024.
We are all brought here today for one simple reason.
Introducing the Bugcatcher 3000.
Thankfully, Froggy Hops is now the game director once again, and not only that, but he is also now the studio manager.
Oh my god, the secret door, the actual secret door.
They brought in communism.
And you become a literal burger bun.
Don't make it make sense, guys. Why can't we kill the mice? Today is the day that Bloxburg goes free. And I mean free. F-R-E-E.
First of all, we enter February 8, 2024, And this update was the Valentine's Day update. Valentina came back to town with her little cart, causing some drama with Susan and Tom, and then she left again. She brought with her some new Valentine's Day items, such as a pillow, a gift bag, and some more lovely items. This also came with the mid-century furniture that a lot of you still love and use today. And apart from that, we've also brought new plants, new plant pots, and you guys sure love those expensive monsteras. And this also meant that the snow had disappeared and the grass came back, and winter was finally over. We're closing the door behind
Alright, so for the February update, it was, trying to get my cursor work. I need to get a new cursor. A new mouse, I mean. Alright, so it was
2024.
Oh, the February 8th update was Valentine's update. Really nice one, brought in some new furniture as well. One thing I don't understand about it though is that they removed the snow, which I don't get because of the fact, like, we still got snow, like, for example, in Canada. Winter's not over till March, so I don't, in a game that's supposed to be realistic, I'm just surprised that that's how they do it. So, for the first part of the video, this was probably during, the job update was when I was on break. I was taking a break this summer. I was traveling a lot, so I did know that Creekcraft did in fact play Bloxburg, but did not know that he was part of the protest. This is hilarious. Bloxburg, bring back Bloxburg. We have anti-communism. Alright, so I did not know Creekcraft did this though. This is something I did not know he did. So that was really funny. And Froggy House becoming the studio manager, that was really cool. Everybody was really happy about that. So that is one thing I did not know, was Creekcraft actually did that whole thing. But apparently it's not over yet, so let's keep listening in to the next part, and then I'll give my reaction on that.
To March 14th, 2024. And this update was known as the Trash Update. It came with very cheap items such as broken doors, broken windows, broken stoves, broken walls, wooden pallets, broken beds, trash, and instant noodles. For this update, we wanted to go as cheap as possible, and it shows. And that was because we had announced that the game was going to become free to play. And with this update, we wanted to offer something for everyone. If you want to rent out your house or a room in your house, but you had to keep it as cheap as possible, this is what you could use for the new players to make them feel welcome in the rich environment that Bloxburg is. But also so that if people do delete their starter house right at the start, they could at least use this to start building up again. Rags to riches, if you will. And we're closing the door behind.
Alright. So, Bloxburg was announced as going free. Oh, and hello to everybody that's tuning in. So, they announced that Bloxburg was going to be free. So, it was kind of like an update where people were more confused about it. But in the end, it all makes sense, though. So, was it in March, or was it... Or did they only announce it's going to be free? I think this was when it went free. Can't remember anymore. But, yeah, so this is the next update. So, not really much in this update though, but it was quite an interesting one. So I think this is when it was free. And I think, or is it back in 2023? Might have been this year, or was it? And they changed it over from a co-op to owning it to Bloxburg Development. I think it was last year. I'm not really sure it was so much. Alright, so let's next listen to the April update.
Of 2024. And we're moving on to April 1st of 2024. And this was the hamburger update. And all I can say about this one is hamburger. This was our April Fool's Day update, turning the entire map into hamburgers and hamburger trees. And what you had to do is you had to collect pieces of a hamburger to make a full hamburger. So you could become a true Bloxburger. Once you finished all of the pieces, your avatar turned into a giant hamburger and you got a special trophy of a hamburger man. Players who joined for the first time that day must have been very confused. And we're closing the door.
So yeah, it was really confusing at first, but I was able to figure it out though. So in that update, yeah, that was a pretty funny update. So last year there was no April Fool's update, so it's kind of nice to have an April Fool's update this year. But it was pretty funny considering the fact that it was a food update. So it was basically like just had to become a burger. It was really funny. You got a trophy from it, and yeah, I remember it was so funny just joining the map, and was it all the trees, or I think it was most of the trees at least, they had all turned to burgers. I was like, okay, alright, this is what's going on, I guess. So yeah, it was really funny. And I think this only lasted a day or two before they removed it, and just what came with the update stayed. But it was a pretty funny update. So let's next listen on to the next update.
Must have been very confused. And we're closing the door behind April 1st, and we're moving on to April 25th. And that was April 25th. Now this update sure happened. This update slashed the job income, added a fainting fee, added a hospital bill, and more to come later. But first we gotta talk about those. This is where we made a huge mistake, and you could tell by the players' sentiment towards the game. We've initiated the biggest protest ever on Roblox on May 5th, and ultimately ended up reverting that and bringing Froggy Hops in charge. But that's for later. Now, apart from all the negativity, this update actually came with a lot of things that players also had asked for. New doors, a big stairwell, a new car, but most important of all, new pre-built houses made by content creators, meaning that the outdated starter houses that were available before this time finally got upgraded, and you finally got more choice to pick a house that you wanted if you didn't feel like building or you felt like renovating something else. But generally, this was not a great time for us, and neither was it for you. Closing the...
Alright, so yeah, this is the update. So people were angry. I remember I was too. Like, and I find it really funny though that they said we made a big mistake, because it was a big mistake. So yeah, to the point where even Creekcraft himself actually played Bloxburg and did this whole protest. So this was really, really funny when I watched the video yesterday, so I knew a bit what to talk about today. But when I went to see, I was like, oh my god, this actually happened. But yeah, so all signs, it was a very, very bad, messed up update. And yeah, I just can't believe all these signs are made. Oh. Bring back Bloxburg. We want anti-communism. Our rights were taken away. Liberty Bloxburg. No justice, no peace. Why settle for less when we could have it all? Boycott Bloxburg. Alright, so this was a very, very interesting. Like, the community was so angry. I was too, but I was not to this point here. But yeah, I was mad too. It's just funny to see how far it went with all these signs. But we did also, like you said, we did get some new doors and all that. The garage doors especially were a really nice addition to the game, I find. So that was really good. And we got the pre-builts as well. Kind of hard to afford them when they're so much and they're making so little. When I met you in this... I'm just singing songs. Alright, so next one. Now we're on to June.
April 25th, finally, we're moving on to June 15th, 2024. And this is when the game became free to play. We reached an all-time high of over 350,000 players and released some new items. These include new mushrooms that you can resize super tall, a new plant, a new moving truck because a lot of people were moving in, and then people who joined when the game was paid access got a free couch car and a trophy. And then a lot of people who didn't play before the game was free to play tried to get a free car and a trophy by telling us they had surely played before. But the game was now free for everyone. And we left an open door for this one because the game is free access. But now
Oh, there you go. Alright, so next update. The game being free. Now this was a big change for Bloxburg, considering the fact that now, well, I'm not saying that they're making less, but this would financially though be an up and down. Down as a way that you for the first time that you play, you do have to pay for access, which is 25 Robux. And after that, the game is yours. Well, not yours, like, you can play the game after that. So it was really crazy to see how, like, incredibly popular Bloxburg got. Like, it was very popular beforehand, but then when they added in it being free, Bloxburg, like, expanded like crazy. So it was really cool to see for me being 3 years now, I think. I joined in 2021, so I'm kind of not an OG player, but you could kind of say I am because I joined before the new team and all that. But like, it was a big update, and to see how the game grew since then is like incredible. So this was a really big update, and of course adding in those mushrooms and all that in the car. I think you can still get, yeah, I can get the car. But it would have been nice if it was just something for OG players, though. Oh well, that's something for another day. Alright, so next it's June 28th. Let's listen in.
because the game is free access. But now moving into June 28th, 2024. This is when summer started and when we added a World Food Festival. This came with pool lights, Asian-inspired lights, a picnic blanket, a market in the city, and in that market we did have a lot of new items, mainly focused on cultural foods, which was a big request from the community. These ranged from charcuterie boards to dumplings and more, and brought people to the town to celebrate different cultures. And this is also where the very popular boba stand got introduced. And we're closing the door.
Alright, so this is the biggest update, and I would have to say a long time, considering the fact that I think this is the first time that we actually got a big summer update. So we had got the summer food festival here, something really different, really cool, really interactive. So yeah, it was cool. We also got the little neon signs, we got the stands, we got some lighting, so it was a really cool update. Brought some new foods. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, so yeah. So this was like the biggest update I would have to say. So like the new players kind of know a bit, probably by seeing videos and all that in the past. When they seen this, they're like, this is crazy how big the game gets like every update. So that's what we have to see for there. And now we're moving on to August. I did forget to mention the that's when they also brought in the boba stand.
And we're closing the door behind June 28th and moving further into the summer because on August 8th we introduced a camping update. And this came with a revamped campsite, new tents, some new trees, and a lot of items related to camping. We've also introduced a new feature that was called bug catching, where you could take a net and catch bugs that were flying around the map. Now these will return when the snow is gone, no worries. But there are a lot of different types of bugs that you can catch and collect, making the camping experience a lot more fun. And we can't forget, this update also had an outhouse. And we're closing the door behind.
Alright, so this next update, August, this was also another big part of the summer update. So if we go on to here, so yes, we did get the outhouse, like Brent said. We also, it was pretty interactive updates this summer because we have bug catching, and then you collected them from the picture here, right here. So you could collect all the bugs. And then we also have the camping update, so they revamped the campsite, they updated it, so that was pretty cool. It was technically a revamped location, but it was not like a revamped building. Like, sure it was exciting, but not as exciting as it was to get like the new movie theater or the change at the gym or Bloxburgers, so that's a big change. But yeah, so it was really cool to see what they did here, like made it super interactive, and it was like a very great update, really interactive like I said, so yeah. Now I think it's September update now. Let's listen in.
Enter a very turbulent September. And before we go on to the update, we probably had one of the biggest news facts of the year at that time, which was Froggy Hops taking over management for the game. Froggy Hops has been part of Bloxburg development even before Coffee Stain, and a lot of players were already familiar with him. And after a few turbulent months, this news was met with great positivity and cheer. Now for the update in September came with stage props. We finally have carryable Toms and Susans. We have stick horse riding. There's movable set pieces that a lot of players use as elevators in their home or as car lifts. And lights that will turn as long as you hold a microphone. Now this update also meant a change. There was no more fainting, there was no more vehicle towing fee, and the job income was reverted. With the extra that if you level up in one job, you will also earn more in the other jobs. And we're closing the door behind.
Alright, so that was September. So it was a really big update. I like the fact that they had added those moving lights in with the microphone, really good idea. All the stage props and all that. But what I was so excited to see though is when Froggy Hobbs did become development even before there. So when Froggy Hobbs, you can't hear the videos. There, I'm going to put it up to minus 30 decibels. That should help. Alright, so this was really crazy when Froggy Hobbs was announced. I was so excited. I knew that the game was going in a better direction. So all in all, this was like probably the best news. So it was really, really like amazing to hear that he was going to become the manager for Bloxburg. So that was for September. So September was a great update. Public Neighborhoods too. Except for one thing though. One thing I don't agree with was with Public Neighborhoods. I liked it more, like this is amazing, don't get me wrong. But I liked it more just for the names of the neighborhood. That's the only thing that I don't like. is the fact that you cannot customize your neighborhood name anymore. Like, I used to put just like either Bird's neighborhood, or whenever someone hosted a session or I did whatever, I would just put like a hotel or stadium or soccer match, something like that. And even for others, like when I used to have that High Hotel series a couple years ago, where Percy RBX used to have his he would load in his hotel in his neighborhood on a random Saturday during the year. Did it a couple times, and he had named his neighborhood High Hotel Neighborhood, so it's easy to find. But now you can't name it that anymore. So that's something I do miss, is the fact that you could customize your neighborhood name. And also probably with the settings, the button to save, that's something I don't like as well. I'll admit that. Just because of the fact that you used to be able to do whatever you want, like your neighborhood, like you just click the time, it did it automatically. But now you kind of have to save, and then you have to wait as before. Even for ground color, like the Bloxburg Halloween update has a color, like uses different color ground. But for that to happen, you have to choose a color, but with the fact you have to save it, it kind of messed up the system. So you have to leave the grass green and then wait for it to change automatically, which I didn't know about. Like, not many people knew about, so it's kind of it was kind of annoying to see, but never know, they might change some stuff or fix stuff for the next time. So next is, I think, late September or early October. So let's listen in.
And moving on to the Halloween update of 2024 on October 3rd. This one came with a lot of new items. We had the entire medieval set, new plant pots, a new vehicle, and so much more. The Halloween update really feels like a full package. And adding to that, there were new mini-games that you could do to earn tickets to buy some of those items. You could go around the map and collect candy from other players. And then there was also the ghost hunt. And the ghost hunt was a game where you would either search for ghosts or become a ghost and try to hide from the hunters. Doing these fun games unlocked tickets so you could buy some of the new items from the update, while a lot of other items were still available for money made by working. And while we already had a lot of old items, we also added a lot of new items and released them in batches for the first time, so that players would stay excited about the new items instead of getting them all at once. Closing the door behind.
Alright, so the Halloween update was another big update bringing tickets in. I find it was good and bad. So one thing that was annoying about the Halloween update with the tickets is the fact that, like with the Christmas update tickets, you could play the winter games without anybody else, and you would still make tickets. But with the Halloween update, you had to wait, or you had to go in a public server or a neighborhood where there's people, and then you had to basically play the game there. So it would have been nice if we could have at least had something similar to this Christmas, so it would be easier to make tickets without having to like have a big server, or because you wouldn't always have people joining the event. And if I remember correctly, you needed at least 3 people to play that game. So it was kind of hard to make tickets at that time, so I think that's what annoyed people. So maybe, you never know, they might add something like they did with winter activities, just to make sure that people can still get tickets. So, but I do find it was well thought out, like after I was able to see more and get more information about it. So it does kind of keep, like, alright, I want this, but I have to like collect a lot of tickets to make sure I have enough to get that item. So it is, I can see why they did that. But yeah, so it was a really big update. as well as with trick or treating. So it was really interactive update, which I like. I like when it's interactive like that. So now let's move on to November 29, the Christmas update.
29, and we open the door to the Christmas update. And at the time of recording this video, we are currently in the Christmas update. Now, this update comes with a lot of stuff from previous years, but again, added a lot of new items that create a lovely atmosphere, such as a new piñata, the gongs. But then also, we added a new kitchen set that was based on retro furniture. So there's retro counters, retro cabinets, and retro appliances, such as the coffee machine, the toaster, and more. To get tickets in this update, you could shovel snow from players' plots, or go and do mini games in town, and there were 3 different mini games: ice sculpting, snowball fights, or finding clothes so that the people in Bloxburg wouldn't get cold. There was something for everyone. And to close the
So that's the Christmas update. So this was also a big update. So before I resume, I'm just gonna take a look in with the poll. 4 votes. Halloween is still going strong. That doesn't surprise me though. Now that I think about it. So the Christmas update was like, it's always a big update. It's always the biggest update. It's always the most popular update. Brings in a lot of items. So here the tickets were again reintroduced, but like I mentioned from the Halloween update, they were way betterly introduced. So of course we have the new furniture set that also came in. But yeah, so the tickets were very well thought out this time, so you could shovel, but of course people had to be in the server. But then at least there was the winter activities, so then you didn't need people in there to be able to do the event. The only thing is that you would need more, at least one other person to collect the group award for completing the group goal together. But at the end, I think they did switch out something, because then you could, if you did more, you'd still get the bonus. So that was, like, this was a big update as well. So, and now we're going to move on to the final update of 2024. Let's listen in.
everyone. And to close the year, we move to December 27th. And at the time of recording this update has not been yet out. Our new world designer has made a beautiful theater for the map, with our animator making a great movie for that theater. It also comes with a lot of new items, such as a photo booth, a big limousine, and more. And that was Bloxburg in 2024. It was definitely...
Alright, before we move on to the closing of that video. So this was also a big update. Finally, for the first time in 2024, and the only time in 2024, we seen a map, well not a map revamp, but we seen a location revamp, or a location replacement. So they replaced the nightclub with the Bloxburg Theater. So it was really cool, really nice to have something new. So we also got two new vehicles as well, and I think that's it for that update, as well as the fireworks show returning, as we see here. So really big update, really big updates this year. So the 2025 will be going there in 2 days on January 2nd during the Happy New Year's. Anyways, so for over here, it was a really big update, considering the fact that we got a new building, and we added a person to the team where they do a lot of building like that. So it was really nice to see that. So let's move on to their final message, and then we'll see what they have to say.
Limousine, and more. And that was Bloxburg in 2024. It was definitely a year with a lot of ups and downs, and we're looking forward to what's to come in 2025. Let us know what your favorite and least favorite updates were, and enjoy the rest of the holiday period. Hey da!
Alright. So, this closes out that video. So it was definitely a very, very big year for Bloxburg, considering the fact that most updates were really, really amazing, really well designed. So Bloxburg definitely took a step in the right direction this year. So it was really amazing to see. Only a couple things though, the especially with the job update, probably the least favorite update of the year. I cannot lie, it wasn't my favorite either, but there was a lot of stuff that was fixed, added, that needed to be added, and as well, of course, as usual, the new theater. So right here, so it was a really big year, for sure not the same as last year where there were 3 revamps. But we finally got another one, and then I'm assuming, because this is the final, this is the final New Year's Eve, New Year's Day of this map. This time next year, it'll be a brand new map. So it's a bit emotional at the same time, considering the fact that this is the map that was here when I first joined Bloxburg. So I can technically say I've been here to see a lot change. It's kind of like for people living in Vegas, where they can, like with the old resorts, they'll be alive when they go up and they'll be alive when it goes down. So it's kind of same here, where I first joined and all of a sudden everything changed. It was like really incredible, and then we're looking forward to the next year. Hello to Alex Gaming YT. Hang on, guys. So yeah, like I was saying, so it was a really incredible year for, like, Bloxburg altogether. And yeah, so if we look over here, so from the original map, well, I don't think we can, well, we can probably say Town Hall, but at the same time it did technically get a revamp when the library was re-added. Was that re-added? Was the new, yeah, the new team was already there at the time of it happening. So we've seen this get revamped. So the old building still left is the lovely lumber, the fishing hut, Ben's ice cream, but I don't think that'll change because that's like that's 2 of the iconic parts of the map. So next we have Pizza Planet, which if they do revamp, I hope it's not like big stuff, like probably just make it like kind of give it the same concept as here, like more of like darker colors, just to keep it modernized. So like I wouldn't change the concept, since this is amazing, like I love it how they have it here. So then fancy furniture, that there too will probably be revamped next year, considering the fact that the map revamp. And then BFF Supermarket, Styles Hair Studio, and Green Clean. and probably we'll see Mike's Motors as well. And then for the Parkade, it's kind of hard to tell if they're just going to make it, if they bring it back in the next map, or what's going to happen. But we are just going to have to wait and see for that one. But I would really see everything being changed, like all the buildings getting at least freshened up a bit. So it's probably gonna be a big year for Bloxburg. 2025, it's probably gonna be a really, really big year. So altogether, if we look, so that was 1 update, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this year, if I am correct, how many I counted, we have gotten 11 updates. So this was a pretty good year for Bloxburg. So we got an update, 2 updates in June, because of the fact that in July, I think it is, they are on break. So they have holidays over there in Sweden. So that's why we don't see any updates in July. So that's why we see more update, like at least 2 updates in June and something big in August, because they're making up for that lost time. But that's crazy. Because before, I think with Bloxburg before, they got out, like, you gotta say, like, there were just 2 before. So before, I think they were able to get out 6 to 8 updates a year, to now almost an update a month. Maybe there was 12 updates. Just checking the update. Alright, so if we check the update log. Alright, so New Year's update. So 1, 2, there we go. Alright, so New Year's update, that's 1, but let's move on to here first. So just gonna make sure they're all in order. Yes, they are. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 updates. Oh, alright. Okay, so they don't. Oh. 9 updates, right? I might miscounted. But yeah. Definitely a lot more updates than previous years. I think these only last up to a year. So what I think I'd like to see in 2025 is the snow staying longer. At least until March, the March update. If they can at least leave it until then, I would love it. Okay, yeah, no, it's already here. So add the update log in game. So it's gonna be a big year just from seeing. Oh god. Alright, so just from seeing this, it's incredible what they did this year. 9 updates. 2 in just 1 month. By the way, I do a lot in broadcasting, so I know you're not supposed to put it in the face, and that's supposed to go over out of the sight of the camera. I know you're watching, so you're gonna know. You're gonna hear. So yeah. So this was a big update. Big updates. Very big updates this year, so it's been an incredible year for Bloxburg with the growth, and now they know what and what not to do, so they know how to get good results and what people want. 5 votes, Christmas. Oh, Christmas is coming up. So that will close out the final stream of 2024. Now the 2025 stream. The first one will be the Happy New Year stream on January 2nd, since I have plans for tonight and tomorrow, so that I'll be live just for a bit on the 2nd, just to kind of say hello, see what's going to be going on for the first part of the year, but technically for the full year. So that will close out the stream. So I want to thank you all so much for an incredible year, an incredible elf hunt, for everyone who joined, who will subscribe, who supported the whole thing, and for that I am truly grateful. So I'm Birdman Playz, saying thank you so much for joining in this year, and I'll see you guys all in the new year. Bye everyone.